Is it true? Can promotional advertising be implanted into our dreams? Well, it's possible and can be scientifically proven. Planting dreams into our minds for the purpose of selling products is not new and has already happened by popular brands whose products you may already use. It's Super Bowl 55. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers play against the Kansas City Chiefs. You're getting tailgating ready, but pause at what beer you'll take with you to the game. Will it be the same beer that sponsored the big game for the past 37 years, or will you reach for something different? Something perhaps that came to you when you were asleep, in the form of a dream commercial. It's a new kind of ad placement that leaves impressions where you would least expect it, in your sleep. By having a choice to configure ad filtering or ad blocking onto our computers, we are empowered to manage and even eliminate ad targeting. However, if our minds become carriers of display ads, ethical vulnerabilities and risk increase. This possibility has disturbed several brain scientists worldwide who, in response, are calling for new laws to protect our minds. They fear that this passive, unconscious advertising could affect millions of people without their permission, and that unless the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, steps in to regulate and ban in-dream advertisements, then the same technological devices that rule our every waking moment could ominously influence our dreams as well. Employed by Coors, Microsoft, Burger King, and PlayStation, this intrusive marketing has been compared to the science fiction film Inception, in which dreams are created, manipulated, and hijacked unwillingly. This unique marketing technique is referred to as targeted dream incubation. Targeted dream incubation, TDI, is the science of guiding your dreams by using external sensory stimuli when the individual sleeping brain is receptive. TDI is the method of your dreams engineered to a specific theme using sensory cues. Smells, sounds, flashing lights, or even speech are all things that could be implemented into a commercial and then into your dream. This type of neuroscience approach is typically enabled during the fluid first stage of sleep, where the sleeper is at a transition state of consciousness called hypnagogia. Focusing on the hypnagogic state, the entrance to sleep, scientists have found that in-dream advertising is indeed possible. There are 4 stages of sleep, but hypnagogia is present in several stages towards the brain's descent into sleep. The hypnagogic state is evident in the wake period, right before sleep, stage 1, and in stage 2 of sleep. Dream incubation, the method to intentionally evoke dreams, is an ancient practice. The term incubation derives from Greek and Latin words. Greek, inquamsis, meaning a dreamlike state of induced sleep. Latin, incubatio, to lie on a kind of bedstead or camp bed. The importance of dreams was first recognized during the Paleolithic and Neolithic periods, when dreams were believed to be messages from gods or other higher powers. These primal societies had dream interpreters that were usually a priest, tribal elder, or leader. Methods of dream incubation have been known for at least 5,000 years, tracing back to ancient Egypt and Babylon, then in ancient Greece and Rome. Because these ancient peoples applied so much significance to dreams, they had dream interpreters. Dream interpretation was an honored profession. In ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, and Rome, it was an art requiring intelligence and sometimes divine inspiration. In these ancient civilizations, dream interpretation was treated as a science by philosophers and as well as physicians. Through dream incubation, the dreamer performed pre-sleep rituals in quest for that dream revelation at a sacred place. Incubation sites were usually somewhere sacred, such as a cave, temple, tomb, hilltop, or any place that contained relics. For example, in 400 BC, when Greeks fell ill, they would sleep on earthen beds in the temple of gods in hopes of entering nquamsis, an induced state of dreaming in which their cure would be revealed. Attempting to summon a deity response, the worshipper sought guidance through a dream that would illuminate and clarify a specific problem. This dream vision would be interpreted as a cure, an oracle, or advice. In modern times, several historical figures deliberately practiced dream incubation to harness waking dreams for creativity or problem solving. Mary Shelley, Thomas Edison, Edgar Allan Poe, Nikola Tesla, and Salvador Dali, to name a few. Several of these notable individuals tried dream incubation through the steel ball technique. The steel ball technique allows the dreamer to access the hypnagogic state by napping with a steel ball or any other heavy object in hand. When the grip of the ball lessened, letting the ball drop to the floor, the dreamer would be awakened by the crash, ready to capture the creative ideas or solutions seen in their dreams. Today, brain scientists continue practicing targeted dream incubation using modern technologies to research the nature and function of dreaming. Brain scientists are seeing positive outcomes from dream incubation studies that result in improvements in problem solving, processing trauma, alleviating depression and PTSD, and enhancing creativity. The latest enhancements in targeted dream incubation comes from MIT scientists who developed a wearable device called Dormio that generates auditory dream incubations at sleep onset. Through Dormio, it will be possible to incorporate information into dream content that can enhance memory consolidation and eventually further research that explains dream causality. By contrast, marketers are openly testing how to change and influence consumer behavior through dreams. Furthermore, brain imaging techniques have already been performed by big corporations. In 2018, Burger King created a new burger for Halloween called the Nightmare King. This green bun sandwich was studied in a sleep laboratory, claiming to be clinically proven to induce nightmares. The study suggests that the cheese and protein in the sandwich contributed to a disruption in the participants' REM sleep, and thus the increase in nightmares. PlayStation deliberately advertised and named their new Tetris game based on a sleep study known as the Tetris effect. The Tetris effect, studied by a Harvard neuroscientist, proved that the prolonged gameplay incubates lucid Tetris dreams. Tetris effect occurs when people spend so much time and attention on an activity that it begins to induce hypnagogic imagery. This effect is observed when one performs any repetitive activity before sleep, then finds that that activity dominates the imagery in their dreams. In 2020, Microsoft's video gaming brand Xbox engaged in TDI with cooperative participants. As part of Xbox's Power Your Dream campaign, gamers played on a new release of the Series X console right before falling asleep. In this study, researchers used dream recording technology during the hypnagogic state to see if the participants continued their game experiences in their lucid dreams. Most recently, for Super Bowl 55, when we see some of the most expensive advertisements for the big game, Molson Coors took a step in a different direction, an attempt to have their beer ads run in their viewers' dreams. If airing commercials during the championship of advertising are favored, then why didn't Coors air their ad during the game? Well, it came down to a long-running exclusivity pact that the NFL has with chief rival beer company Anheuser-Busch. Since Anheuser-Busch had exclusive rights to the Super Bowl, Coors had to think creatively on how not to miss out on such a massive audience. The solution to the situation came in the form of a dream. Marcelo Pessoa, vice president of marketing for the Coors family, said that he woke up from a strange dream with a vague feeling that it was time for beer. The idea was brewed with creative agency DBB, with the intent of having this campaign live up to the Coors Light mantra of made to chill. We wanted to create a refreshing experience as people slept, Pescoa says. People have had so many bad dreams recently, but if we can create a moment to really refresh people's spirits while they dream, that's something that's going to create a powerful connection between the brand and people who engage in this experience. Coors planned to trigger dreams about their product needed scientific support in order to be done properly and successfully. So, they reached out for consultation from noted psychologist and researcher Dr. Deidre Barrett. Dr. Barrett is an expert in dreams, teaches it at Harvard University, and has also authored in several books on the topic. For this project, she advised using the targeted dream incubation technique and provided guidance in developing an effective process that can compel people's dreams. What was the goal of this sleep study? The purpose was to motivate volunteer participants to fabricate an advertisement of their own making in their dreams by showing them images of the company's refreshments, Coors Light and Coors Seltzer. To achieve this, Coors worked with creative studio Ghost Robot to create the pseudo-psychedelic imagery and Caitlin Oriella Smith for music. On the night of the experiment, a team of sleep technicians escorted participants to their sleeping chambers and connected them to recording devices to monitor their sleep. As they settled in, each participant watched a 90-second computer-generated dreamy film 3 times. Visuals in the film featured a shimmering avatar flying through several Coors brand imagery of Rocky Mountain scenes and streams. Additional visuals include Coors Seltzer cans moving smoothly like slinkies, some swimming underwater, a talking fish holding a Coors Light, and flashes of words, water, ice, and bubbles. Following the video, an 8-hour mellow electronic soundscape played as they slumbered. As participants dozed off, they were carefully monitored to track their descent into REM sleep. Unlike most of the dream incubation studies that aim for the hypnagogic state, the Coors Dream experiment recorded dreams during REM sleep. Scientists woke participants up when they reached REM sleep and asked what they had been dreaming about. The results were successful in that 5 out of 18 participants, over 25%, reported dreaming about Coors. Content with the outcome, Coors invited viewers nationally to participate in exchange for free beer by going to their website to watch the visual stimulus video and listen to the soundscape before sleep the night before the Super Bowl game. This novel idea of using targeted dream incubation for in-sleep advertising was meant to be a lighthearted campaign, yet became polarizing. Some found this campaign to be creative and imaginative, while others found that the exploited use of dream incubation is intrusive and a slippery slope. In an op-ed piece titled "Advertising in Dreams is Coming, Now What?", 40 brain scientists collectively urge for new protective policies to prevent advertisers from manipulating our dreams, especially for addictive substances. Their opposition consisted of a possible use example where the risk of in-dream adverts could affect recovering alcoholics, and a scenario where smart speakers could trigger in-dream advertising without warning. The article shows concerns that although the FTC protects against subliminal advertisements during wake, that there is no similar indication regarding exposure during sleep. As for Dr. Barrett, the dream researcher who helped Coors, she attempts to quiet the alarm through a reflective blog post. She explained that indeed Coors' use of words to describe the campaign, specifically targeted dream incubation to implant and infiltrate dreams, had overtones of sci-fi and military mind control. So negative reactions to the publicity was warranted. However, she explained that because the study was so small, she barely considered it an experiment, she had advised Coors to perform a larger study where participants were at home, because it would be more similar to what the rest of the viewers would experience. Additionally, she points out the Coors ad did not run unknowingly to any viewer because it had to be voluntarily played through Coors' website. Therefore, the advert did not have the same reach of millions of viewers as typical Super Bowl commercials, and so the chances where an alcoholic could accidentally see this commercial was debunked. She has been quoted saying, "There's a lot of psychology research that is based around whether or not subliminal text gets into your mind at all, and the research tends to suggest that it gets in a little. But this sort of myth that it's more powerful than if you simply showed it to somebody awake seems to be very false. It has less influence." We are yet to see how the opinion piece will be addressed, as it was sent to the US Senator Elizabeth Warren. But we can draw conclusions from what we already know. According to the US Section 5 of the Federal Trade Commission Act, unfair or deceptive acts or practices in or affecting commerce are declared unlawful. Any potentially non-recognizable ad in any medium must be labeled prominently and unambiguously with information necessary to prevent deception. These existing statutes already bar deceptive advertising applied across all media and automatically includes new ones as they emerge. Consequently, any commercials designed for in-sleep advertising would require a label with anti-deception statements every time. With that being said, even if in-dream advertisements were regulated by the FTC and consumers were fully aware of them, is it ethical? If we've reached a point where we're being legally manipulated by advertisements in our sleep, then perhaps we should accept that our dreams are also vulnerable to a lot more than just advertising. What do you think? Should these sort of advertisements be restricted? How dangerous could these techniques really be? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.